Here now with former FBI Director James Comey in a new role, crime fiction author. His debut novel, Central Park West, is set in New York City. It's coming out on Tuesday. Welcome back to GMA. Good to see you.
Great to be with you again.
So you are the first FBI director, must be the first FBI director termed crime novelist.
I think that's right. I think that's a safe bet.
I don't think J. Edgar Hoover wrote a crime novel. What inspired the switch?
I got nudged by one of my editors on nonfiction saying, have you ever considered it? And I thought, nah, I don't want to do that. But the farther I got from government service, the easier it became to think about. And so I gave it a shot and found it addictive.
And tell us about the story, Central Park West.
It's a story of a federal prosecutor here in Manhattan named Nora Carlton, who's prosecuting a mob case that ends up colliding, to her surprise, with a political corruption case and another murder case, taking her on quite a journey through the criminal justice system.
It sounds like a little bit of a run through your career. You started out as a mob prosecutor, got involved in political investigations as well. How much do you draw on?
I drew a lot on the work I had done. I had prosecuted the mob in the federal courthouse in Lower Manhattan, but I actually thought about it in the current day and wrote it in the current day because my oldest daughter is a federal prosecutor, was the chief of the Violence and Organized Crime Unit, and was prosecuting Glenn Maxwell in the same courtroom I had prosecuted mobsters 30 years earlier.
So did she give input?
She read it and gave me some factual corrections and okayed me using her as inspiration.
So tell me how it works. I mean, because it seems like a pretty big leap from being a prosecutor and FBI director. What's your writing process like?
I start by talking to my amazing wife because she's my idea person, and we agree on a story, and then I go off and write it, and she gives me brutal and loving feedback on a Google Doc late at night. I can't get it in person, it's too hurtful, and then I digest it overnight. and then we talk again, and it just iterates and iterates.
So if you can't get it in person, you're getting it overnight. What's breakfast like the next morning?
Sometimes it's wonderful, depending on what's in the little bubble she left for me on the Google Doc the night before. And then we agree upon the story, and I live in the story as if it's nonfiction once we imagine the characters.
Does it feel like a new life for you?
It does. Lower stress, right? I can sit by myself, going through that feedback by myself, and then writing and thinking about both the work I've done and the work that my daughter is doing now, and take people inside these institutions through fiction in a way that you really can't with nonfiction.
You know, I want to bring you back to your old life for a second. We saw last week this report from the prosecutor, John Durham, coming out after several years, very tough on the FBI. What was your reaction?
My reaction was, after all these years, there's nothing new in it about the FBI. So honestly, it struck me as a huge waste of taxpayer money and time.
And how about the current? You were involved, of course, in the investigation of Hillary Clinton in 2016. How about this current investigation by the special counsel against former President Trump?
Looks like it's being done in a professional way because we don't know that much about it. It's very hard to investigate in that kind of environment, in that kind of spotlight. It seems like it's being done in a professional way.
And when do you expect charges to be coming?
I don't know. The one that seems most likely is the Mar-a-Lago documents case and the obstruction. Easiest there to prove Donald Trump's state of mind, which is a challenge, I think, to prove in any environment. But for that case, it strikes me as the most likely one to result in charges.
Meantime, you're already working on your next novel?
Yeah, I have it in draft. It's out for brutal and loving feedback from the next layer of family members.
Thanks for coming in. Central Park West is out on Tuesday. You can hear more from Director Comey on The Bookcase with Kate and Charlie Gibson, which drops today.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.